This is Jay Scott from The Hook Rocks, and you're listening to the Shout It Out Loudcast, the ultimate KISS podcast. All the information you need. You got the passion, you got the discussion, and you got Tom and Zeus. Check them out.
Hello. Hey, what's up there, KISS Army? It's Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 82, album review, part 1. What you laughing?
I'm sorry. This happens all the time. Right before we hit record, one of us says something stupid. So he goes and hits record, and then I'm trying not to laugh. So
you're saying I said something stupid?
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
Doing Coming to America quotes, and then you hit record. Like, when you think of podcast, think of Shout It Out Loudcast.
When you think of garbage, think of Akeem.
That's right. When you think of Akeem, think of garbage, think of Akeem. How are you, Tom?
Oh, I'm great. Just living in the heat wave up here in New England, like you are too. So getting through it, getting through it. That's all we're doing, but it's time to record. So we're excited.
Are back.
Well, half the Patriots aren't.
Yeah, I know, but hockey's back over the weekend. Baseball started, but the Red Sox didn't get the message. And yep, half the Patriots are deciding to say, fuck you, Bill. I'm not playing this year.
Yeah, I'm opting out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Celtics come back Friday night. My son's actually excited about that. So I'm excited because he's excited. So we'll get back into basketball too.
Yeah. Yep. And but more exciting, it's another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast.
Yeah, and we have not yet opted out of this podcast, so we're here.
Maybe some of you have opted out, but we're still in it. We had a huge episode last week. What did we talk about? Yeah,
people love the album reviews are always like big ones for us, but I said this to you. I said people love it's not that they love Asylum. It's just it's like the more controversial the album, the more like exciting the feedback is, because there are people that love this album, like our friend Pooney. And then there are people out there like, oh God. And then the people that like love the videos and the costumes. So we got some great feedback, as always. And we thank you guys for all that. Cause it was a great episode. We had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. We always start with our polls. How did we do?
Yeah, no big surprises to this one. So every time we do an album review, we always do a poll with the what we put in what we think is the 4 top songs in the album. So we did Tears Are Falling, All Night, Who Wants to Be Lonely, and Secretly Cruel. I got to tell you, this poll got maybe the most votes ever for like a song poll. It was amazing. Yeah. And 48% of the votes went to Tears Are Falling. No surprise. 32%, Who Wants to Be Lonely, 14% All Night, and 6% Secretly Cruel. And I'm going to tell you right now, just for statistical purposes, that's what I voted for because I didn't think anybody would vote for it.
I did too.
Yeah. I mean, I knew Tears Are Falling was going to win.
So in other words, it was 2%.
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. So that was good. Yep.
All right.
That's the poll. Yep.
All right. All right, Booger. Do you want to go through what you got? Anything good you found on social media about the episode?
Yeah, like we always say, especially album reviews, we love how you guys interact and give us your song rankings, your album rankings. We got some stuff from Deuce, as always. We love Deuce. Twisted Kister, another big fan. Sean DeHaan, Zandon, Sean Hammond. He said, I hated this record and saw them on this tour. Can't wait to hear your review. Maybe time has made it better. Graham Richley, one of the most disappointing KISS albums with the cover setting the tone, followed by the cringe-ass videos. I like Gene's stuff on here. Paul's stuff is just bad. I never even liked Tears Are Falling. This album was stolen from me, and I never replaced it. That's awesome.
Stole his Asylum record.
This is great. And then another new listener of the show, Josiah Horn. Asylum is probably my top 5 KISS albums. Amazing work by Eric and Bruce. Gene brings his best of his Hollywood years to this album. My opinion, Paul's the MVP of this album. Thank you guys for lightening up my Monday again. Love y'all. And then he threw in another comment about the Ambassador Scott Brown episode. He said, also, I should have said this last week when you had the Ambassador on, but I am a hardcore Democrat, and I usually cannot stand when any Republican opens their mouth. But Mr. Brown seemed to be a class act, and I'm glad he was able to talk Kiss without being political. Okay. Horny Women Love Rock, also known as Pooney's burner account. This record is not that great. We reviewed this about 3 months ago, and then you said, when did you review it, Pooney? Oh, man. Let's see. DR says one of the best of the non-makeup era. Dave Cranston, he does his album review. Then DR and Dave Cranston then got into an argument about Carnival of Souls, and I jumped in because I love Carnival of Souls. JR said, all night, Pandemic Paul's poetic prowess is unmatched. Murph said, our buddy Murph said, thank you for ruining nursery rhymes with this episode.
What, the Dice Man stuff?
Oh, Rumple Stanley skin, Rumple foreskin. Remember that? All that shit.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack burnt off his fucking dick.
I thought it was the little old lady who lived in a shoe.
This is a good one from MD. And now for something completely different. Hashtag the Paul Stanley Shuffle. Hashtag nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. Darius Green said, love the episode, guys. I personally love this album. You hit it on the head with the videos. Horrible. Still, y'all are my favorite podcast. That's awesome. Thanks, Darius.
Yep.
Mr. Marr, great record. I overlooked Gene Simmons' tracks, but they stand up. Alan Jonason, very underrated album, still sold to this day. So, yeah, a lot of people like this album. A lot of opinions generally favorable for Asylum. So thank you for the feedback and the interaction. It's great.
Yeah, I know you skipped out on something, and that was a retweet with comments from somebody that we're friends with. And he decided to text us too, Tom.
Go for it.
And he said to us, and he tweeted this as well, you should have called me for the Asylum cast.
Yep.
And Jericho wasn't happy that we didn't call him. And when he tweeted it, I think our buddy Mr. Pooney jumped in as well and made a comment as well.
Hey, Sonny Pooney, what a piece of shit that guy is.
And so people have been asking us about this. We've gone 10 albums now, just me and you. We don't want to change it. Yeah. We don't want to change it. It's just me and you. We're going to go through the Kiss stuff. We can go revisit an album, in which we'll probably end up do an Asylum revisited and have both Chris and Sonny so they can fight amongst each other too.
Like a round table type, like a discussion. Yeah.
We can do that in the future, but we want to kind of keep it on the same plane. And because you'll see why this episode is basically why we want to keep it that way. Mm-hmm. And, kind of had this vision from the beginning when we did episode album reviews. So
Yep.
Let's go over to a couple other things.
Okay.
Our buddy Steve67 on podchaser.com. Tom and Zeus bring us the best show. Great topics, more laughs than any other podcast. Great mix of music, facts, and great humor. You know he's from England when it's O-U-R in humor.
Yeah, I could tell that. It's a giveaway there. Yep.
Yeah. You feel that you're shooting the shit with friends. The chemistry is something that you can't buy. Every episode is unmissable. And that was on our Asylum review.
That's awesome. Thank you.
We also got a bunch of stuff on YouTube. It's actually getting some traffic over there. And, our YouTube is basically our image and our logo and then the episode playing in the background. We're not, because of the clips and everything else and the song stuff, we're not putting live footage of me and Tom. You can get that with the live cast every once in a while, which we just put out. Our live cast from last Friday with the gang from Growing Up Rock, Hotter Than Hell, where we did the album review. That was a hell of a lot of fun, Tom.
That was great. Oh, yeah. We did the song draft. We picked a bunch of classic albums and did a 20-song draft. And that was anytime we do the drafts, the live stream, everybody gets in on it because it's just it's fun doing a draft, but then it's also fun just kind of shitting on your buddies like, oh, Steve Wright, Mr. Scary is your back for the attack pick. Yeah. But we love Steve but it's that kind of stuff. It's just a bunch of guys who love music, just having some fun.
And that you can catch on our Facebook page, Shout It Out Loudcasters group page. Feel free to join that.
Yep.
And YouTube has the actual clip, so you can actually see us all talking and stuff. And then it's also on our podcast as a downloadable episode. Mm-hmm. But anyways, on YouTube, dude, this is from B. Byford. Dude, you guys are the best, funniest, most entertaining Kiss-related thing on YouTube. Those pics of Paul look like he was playing for the Pink team. What?
Oh boy.
What pics? You mean maybe he's talking about the videos?
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, Devin Dungan. Awesome episode, guys. Asylum is one of my favorites. To me, the second or third best non-makeup album. Robbie Stars. Asylum is a good album. I ignored it back in 85 as I moved on to the other bands, but years later, I bought the remastered CD. I really like it. And Bruce is incredible on everything. Plus, he saves the embarrassing last song of the album, All Night. I rated an 8 out of 10. Not too bad, but to me, Revenge is the king of the non-makeup albums.
Yes.
Great fun show. Always entertaining, and I laughed my ass off.
That's great. Awesome.
And then somebody named Anthem Inc. said groovy. I don't know if that's Peter Brady's YouTube account.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, Peter.
We're having pork chops and applesauce.
But
groovy? There you are. Do I know you? No, but you're there.
Hey, there you are. Well, hi, do I know you? No, but that's where you are. You're there. Hey, viva Las Vegas.
Awesome.
We already did Podchaser. Then finally, let's get into a little bit of Facebook comments here, Tom. Our buddy David Zanet, who rocks. Hey, Zeus, do you want my hat from the All Night video for your groovy nights? Another groovy comment. And he has a picture of Paul with the hat and stuff. Jason Leonard, XNLP. I love all eras of Kiss. This lineup was a dynamo. Is this Moscow Dynamo, the team from like the USSR? Jason A. Warden. My first Kiss cassette purchased via Columbia House.
Wow. Columbia House. Oh.
Did he buy it under Chode Pandas?
Jorge Plantes?
Ziggy Marley?
Oh, God.
Darren Hunt. Good episode. I still think Who Wants to Be Lonely is the standout on this album. And then one of my favorites and buddy of the show, Kevin Chepson. Oh, my God. The Pandemic Paul talk had me dying again. Fun episode. Love this album. And this tour was the first time seeing them. Here's my list. And then he gives his list.
Yep.
Oh, another one, Tom, with King of the Mountain as number one.
I don't get that. Even Jericho was given a shit because we don't like King of the Mountain.
Yeah.
That was, and then he decided to call us fucking morons, which was great. And I don't understand. We said it during the episode. The King of the Mountain, the love for that song, it escapes me. I don't get it. But anyways,
yeah, Kevin also put never understood the hate for Radar for Love or the Zeppelin comparison. Little bit, not much. I don't know how he doesn't see that.
That's Black
Not really
Dog.
A bad song on this one for me. Yeah, I do like that he has Secretly Cruel number 2.
Yeah.
So that's a good one there.
Nice.
Dan O'Halloran. Oh, shit. I can't wait for this one. It's probably my top 80s Kiss album. Great solos, catchy as fuck tunes. Drumming is stellar as well. Scott Donaldson, the drummer in Kissteria.
That's right.
From Australia. My favorite 80s Kiss and probably my most played Kiss album of all time. I'm with you, Sonny Pooney. Would have loved the look if they just refined the animalized look. Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that, right?
Yep.
Stephen Wood should have been an EP with Tears Are Falling, Who Wants to Be Lonely All Night, King of the Mountain.
Oh, again with the King of the Mountain. Ugh.
And then Ziklopi Javi Mejas. Just was hearing it yesterday here in Spain.
Wow. Beautiful.
Hola, amigo.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
What does say?
Oh God. Buenas noches, amigos. Yeah. For when there's a night game at Fenway. Buenas noches, amigos.
I thought he was in the afternoon Sunday games. And for all our friends in SAP button in Spanish, buenas tardes, amigo.
Unfortunately, we don't have an SAP button on this podcast. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, to circle back, Tom, I'm sorry I didn't mention this.
No,
so
go ahead.
Chris's top 10 list.
Oh yeah, read that.
Jericho's when he told us we should have called him. Trial by Fire, number 10. Number 9, I'm Alive. Number 8, Love's a Deadly Weapon. Number 7, Radar for Love. Number 6, Any Way You Slice It. Number 5, Secretly Cruel. Number 4, Tears Are Falling. Number 3, King of the Mountain.
Oh, my Lord.
Number 2, All Night. Number 1, Who Wants to Be Lonely? I see him in maybe a quarantine picking up an All Night. It sounds like it's up his alley.
Yep.
And he'll pull that off,
Agreed.
Yeah, because he can sing it, Mr. Sebastian Bach.
Boom! Bam!
Bam!
Hello?
Yo, what's up? I want you to hear my rap album.
Uh-huh.
Yo, what's up? My name is Curly G Cradle Rock.
Uh-huh.
Yo, I got some good music. I want to come down there. Yo, bam! I want you to play that.
Yeah, and I don't even want to get into it. No. But he did ask us, hey, what is that Paul McCartney thing you got from yesterday?
I love that.
You want to tell him what he's talking about, people?
Oh yeah. So anytime we talk about the bass, like Gene, like slapping the bass, Zeus we always drop in that clip.
One time I was doing my thing going like wickly wockly, right? John's there going scooby-doo-ba-doo-ba-zoo-ba-doo, and Ringo's over there going doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, and George is going soup-a-doo-boop-boop-boop, and I go back and I'm going rooba-see-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba, right? And John's going sooba-doo, sooba-doo, and Ringo's over there going and that's how we came out with most of the White Album.
Kids out there, there used to be the Dana Carvey show. If you don't know who Dana Carvey is, he was a superstar on Saturday Night Live. And he did the Beatles, like, what was it, Lost Memories or Forgotten?
Yeah, Leftover Memories. Because the Beatles, back then, the early 90s, had like a big thing with the anthology album.
Yes.
And they had a big thing on ABC, like Leftover Memories or something. So, his show was on.
Yeah.
For like 6 months, and they canceled it because it was like so over the top. Like, I don't know, the censors flipped out and they canceled it after not even a year.
Yeah, when he did that skit, he played the role of all the 4 Beatles, and he played the role of my God, I'm like brain farting now on the freaking Beatles right now.
He did Paul McCartney.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry.
Stephen Colbert actually did George Harrison.
Yes.
And who's the guy that does Triumph the Dog? He did Ringo.
Triumph the Incel Comic Dog?
That was the guy that did. Yeah, he was the guy that played Ringo.
Okay. Yeah. So he was like talking like Paul McCartney, and he was just like, and I was strumming on the bass and giving a little flibbity flibbity. And it's just we play it all the time. You can watch the whole skit on YouTube. It's just great.
Oh, it's a great clip. And it's funny.
Yep. We got a couple quick emails we can go through too.
Yeah, please.
Couple of emails here. Kevin Northern just finished the episode. Thanks for the shout out. I think we might have asked his question, or I'm not sure, but I think we did mention him. After listening to this album again, to me, Trial by Fire and Secretly Cruel seem like they'd be more at home on Hot in the Shade. Want to get your thoughts on that. Looking forward to the next episode. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, Gene had some duds on Hot in the Shade, so I'd probably replace him with these, but no, it's a good one. Tony Smith. The subject heading of this email is Swing Set Stanley. As pandemic Paul Stanley puts the finishing touches on his jumbo swing set, he puts his foot in the ring of the miniature trapeze and looks towards his neighbor and says, I want you to come over there and see you, but I got to know if you want me. Let me hear you.
What do you think the neighbor's saying? Fucking Christ, Stanley, cut the shit. Nobody wants to hear this crap early in the morning.
Oh my God. And then we got an email from Stephen Wood. He takes so much time and energy into his charts with his rankings. We appreciate that. And he says how much he loved the episode. He says, after the disappointment of Animalized, this unfortunately just kept the shit show going for me. Ooh, yikes. Not a fan of this. And then Scott Donaldson from Kisteria. give him a little shout out there. Hope you guys are well. I'm sure you know by now how much I enjoy your podcast. Touching on the latest episode, I like Few Really Love Asylum. Not sure if it's because, like Zeus, I had just rediscovered Kiss maybe a year or so before and was eagerly awaiting new material. I think that the album is tainted by the look of the band at the time. I also believe they have kept the animalized look. Yeah, we covered that a little bit when he talked about that on social media too. And he just talks about, stay safe, peace out, Girl Scout. So we appreciate all that feedback on social media, email, et cetera, et cetera. The comments are great, and thank you so much for all that.
Yeah. Tell me, Tom, what's going on in Kiss World?
Oh, well, Ace Frehley is kind of running the show this week. Hey, fucking Origins Volume 2. I'm just going to fucking cover some shitty fucking songs that no one really cares about. No, that's not true. Some of the songs he's picked are decent. So everybody's talking about that, and the pre-orders for his album went crazy. He had a double vinyl gold, limited edition gold vinyl, 1,000 copies sold out in less than 24 hours. So kudos to Ace on that. He released the single and the video for Space Truckin' by Deep Purple. Of course, he had to get in his little Ace-isms. He says, hi, Curly, mentions Jendell. At one point in the song, he says Space Ace Truckin'. The song's okay. I mean, myself, I'm not a huge Deep Purple fan, but he gives the song a little bit of balls with his music and his guitars. His voice is Ace, but Zeus, everybody's talking about, not just the song, but the video.
Yeah, there's a part in it when he goes into a bathroom and there's a guy and he says, Eugene. It's a cartoon video, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's a guy that looks like Gene without the makeup taking a dump.
Yep.
And then the guy sticks his tongue out. It's obviously Gene. I don't know if it's made to be in jest. It's not over the top rude, but it's obviously not a positive image of Gene.
Yeah. I know, you got to wonder if that's. I don't know anything about Gene and Ace having any current problems. So maybe it is a joke, but it does seem like he went out of the way to, you have Gene sitting on the friggin' shitter, and it's like, what's up with that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like stupid stuff. Like, at this point in time, you want to take a dig at him. He's kind of controlling your destiny. You're doing fucking cover songs in maybe playing Tupelo, Mississippi for 4,000 people. If you're fucking lucky to get 2,000.
Yep.
Maybe keep your mouth shut and maybe they'll take you back for a couple gigs. You can make yourself some decent money, because when the Kiss shit runs out, it's going to run out for you first.
No, it's true. Yeah. And then other Ace news. So we're recording on Wednesday, the 29th. And this kind of just came across on social media today. And I'm not going to take credit for finding it. I saw it on another Kiss site. So the website is ladyspaceandace.com. And it's a memorabilia sale. And it says memorabilia items were collected over the years while Ace Frehley and, Rachel Gordon were married. They are now being presented for the first time for sale on the internet for your viewing. Many of the items for sale include platinum records, reel-to-reel tapes of Kiss music sessions, Ace's clothing and jewelry. Please take a look around the website and you will notice each item for sale is identified. If you are interested in purchasing any item, you may click the Buy Now button or you may send us an email. Here's the thing with this. There is no fucking way Ace knows about this. And I don't want to say names because I don't know if this person wants to, be part of our podcast, but a very trusted and respected Kiss source of information came out and said these are absolutely stolen items that are being sold by Rachel Gordon, that there is no way that she would ever get her hands on these with the blessings of Ace. So if that's the case, this is fucking pathetic. Maybe people can buy some of this stuff and give it back to Ace, but she's selling like dress shoes that he wore, like his clothing, like personal jewelry. Like, it's not just Kiss stuff. It's like all of his stuff. And it's, I don't know, it's pretty shady. We haven't heard Rachel Gordon's name in a while, but you got to wonder if maybe she's dropping this at the same time that he's trying to promote his new album and try to screw him up. I don't know, but it's kind of sad to see it, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the comments, Tom, from our post on Facebook. And our buddy Jack Pinocchio, not the Grammy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Michael Norby goes, really shitty web design back to the 90s. Okay, so this lady rightfully own this stuff? Yeah, and Grayson Gallegos says, how soon before Ace or somebody in his camp says, these items are stolen items?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt.
Yeah.
It's just too bad. It's just weak shit. You know, like we haven't heard Rachel's name in a while, but that like, it just came across and the Kiss fandom was kind of talking about it and just how sad the whole thing is. And like you said, you know, Ace knows nothing about this, or at least he's not part of it. So
yeah,
just some unfortunate shit for Ace to have to put up with right now. But on a fun note, well, for me, certainly not for Zeus, but all you vinyl geeks out there, unmasked limited edition color splatter vinyl has been released for pre-order, shipping in September. It's really, really awesome. It's like a white grayish vinyl, and then has a splatter all across of it in like red, green, blue, like kind of all the bright colors from the comic strip cover of Unmasked. It's not the heavy duty 180 gram vinyl, but it's got that color. It's gonna have that awesome unmasked poster inside, which that right there, that's almost worth buying it just for that poster. So if you're a collector, if you're a Kiss vinyl geek like I am, which of course I've already pre-ordered it myself. Nerd! That's a cool thing that was just dropped today on Wednesday the 29th. So you'll hear this on Saturday or whenever. But so that's kind of cool if you're into that.
Yeah. Our buddy Gene Simmons
from Kiss.
He's funny on Twitter. He has like some of these comments he makes. He'll retweet something and then post like a couple quick things. Sorry about this. Breaks my heart. Sorry to hear this. About the friggin' guy, Louis Gohmert.
Oh, Jesus. We were talking about him before we started recording.
I'm not laughing that he got corona, but he got COVID-19, and he was the guy going around bitching that people wear masks, didn't have masks. He was like spit talking to everybody all around.
Put it this way. He is like Pandemic Paul's arch nemesis. If it was like a superhero movie, it would be like the evil Louis Gohmert.
Yeah. I'm getting it. And what'd you say? He like called his whole staff into his office without him wearing his fucking mask.
He's like, everybody come into my office. I got a meeting. By the way, I have corona.
Everybody, please get in my office. I got coronavirus, and all you motherfuckers are probably gonna get it now. But who gives a shit? It's a fucking hoax. Anyways, Gene, sorry to hear this. And then there's another one. Unfortunate. He did it twice. He retweeted the thing and he said, "What is unfortunate and sorry to hear this."
He's
shocking.
So passive aggressive. Like,
happy birthday. Stay safe. Our families are with you. Our prayers are with your family. Sad. These are all like one word comments on different news events. I don't know what he's doing, but I just find him funny. And then I can't let you go, buddy, until I got to bring it up.
Do it. Go ahead.
First of all, he put this picture of like, I don't know, it's like got to be like that face morphing app.
Yeah.
Where it's like Pandemic Paul shrinks into like a 7-year-old. And it's like a close up of his face.
And now for something weird.
And he's got his big time lemon sucking lips going on this one.
His fucking crooked eyes and fucking Jesus. I will give him a break though. He hasn't really been too pandemic, Paul. Although he did do another condolence tweet.
Right?
Another one.
I brought it up.
Yep. Rest in peace. The co-founder of Fleetwood Mac, Peter Green, passed away. Paul Stanley doing his rest in peace, which he has that right to do. But I think that's at least 3 or 4 deaths since the passing of J.R. Smalling and Bob Kulick, and crickets on those guys. We say that every week. And then he was retweeting, a live performance by some hot chick with a star over her eye playing like the fiddle or something. Damn, she was hot. And then something about the movie Almost Famous, which is a terrific movie, but he just tweeted about that. So he took some time off, I think, from his pandemic Paul rants. But
oh no.
Go
then
ahead.
He had the photo of a little break from a present reality.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's supposed to be my Paul thing.
Yeah, and it's a crock cake.
Like those weird things where cakes are like look like real inanimate objects, and like people cut them and they find out they're just, they're cakes, and just Paul and food, yeah, and then the Almost Famous stuff too.
Yep.
He's just anything but Kiss.
Yep, it's all that. That's what I said. It's now to the point where we scroll through his tweet like a week at a time to see if there's been anything Kiss related, and there's nothing.
And it gets back to what we said on Asylum.
Yep.
All the shit that he was giving Gene about not putting his effort into Kiss. Why doesn't Gene come back and go, hey, my mind's in Kiss. I'm promoting the band constantly. Our products and stuff. When was the last time you promoted the band?
I'm telling you, it's going to be very, very interesting whenever they get back together and get back on the road.
Do you know what it is, Tom? Do you know what I've kind of figured out it is?
Go ahead.
I think he is so intent to be legitimized. Like he's an artist.
Yeah.
He's like the critics to like him. Like he's a serious person that he'll comment on serious items and that he's not to be like trifled with. Like he's now, someone made a point, and I don't know where it was. They texted it to us or they emailed us or a direct message of some sort. Do you think that Paul would act the way he did in Exposed now?
Oh, yeah. Somebody did say that. I wish.
So embarrassed by how they acted during that and all his goofy stuff. He is like, he's trying to put that away. That's not his image now. Now he's, I'm being interviewed by Dan Rather. Come see my paintings. Let me comment on today's current events. Like he wants to be considered a philanthropist, an entertainer. Like you're not. You're the fucking guy that wrote All Night.
Which is why I bring back to my original point. I don't think he cares about Kiss anymore. I don't. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying this because obviously I want this to happen. I don't want this to happen, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be surprised if the tour never happens again. I'm just not. I'm not. All right. Because of the virus, because of the age, because of what appears to be constant like disinterest in the band. I just like you said, he's taken all these steps to become legitimized with the art and the Soul Station and his tweets about
cooking.
His tweets about wearing the mask and being responsible and respectable. Going back into Kiss and putting on the Star Child makeup. Well, now you're Paul Stanley from Kiss again. All that other stuff. Oh, see, we always knew you were that guy that sings, Detroit Rock City.
I'm good friends with Sir Elton John. I talked to Jimmy Page. Yep. Rod Stewart is a great friend of mine. Yep. I enjoy these artists. He doesn't want to talk. So I want to show you something. I have on my desktop the Twitter page up right now.
Okay.
Paul Stanley Live. Underneath his heading, join me. You belong here. Nothing about Kiss. His headshot, nothing about the makeup or Kiss. Nope. The background photo that he has in it is all his art. Yep. Nothing in the photos of Kiss. On the right is as his last 6 images that he's got. He's got baby friggin' Freakazoid kid there, whatever, baby Paul. He's got a picture of him in the Soul Station wearing the mask, doing the peace sign. He's got another picture of him wearing a mask. He's got his fucking manicotti photo with peas.
Yep.
He's got the fucking photo of the boiling water. Oh, you boil water to make pasta? Oh, okay.
Yep.
To the right of that is his fucking awful pasta dish he's making. And then to the right of that is whoever that keyboard player was for Kiss that passed away.
Phil Ashley.
Those are the 6 images. This is the page of Paul Stanley. Where do you see fucking Kiss anywhere on this?
You have to go all the way back to July 10th when we talked about this before, where it's a picture of the stage and he says, I can't wait to do this again. Once you get past that, nothing.
His Twitter.
Nothing.
The first thing you do when you go to his account and his page, there is nothing identifying him with Kiss. Nothing.
I'm scrolling as we're talking. July 10th was a picture, and I'm talking about pictures, not just tweets. I'm talking about tweets that involve photos. July 10th was a picture of the stage where he says, I can't wait to do this. Before that, the previous tweet that involved a Kiss picture was May 12th when he wished Eric Singer a happy birthday. So he went almost 2 months in between tweeting any kind of media, photo, video, or anything Kiss related. That's the fucking star child from Kiss right there doing that.
He's busy doing interviews with Joe, what's his face there?
Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah, and talking about when he was a child, he grew up on, classical music. And I listened to Chopin, and then I would go to, theater groups, and I could listen to all types of music. Motown. Yep. I listened to Cream and all these artists. Dude, you wrote fucking anything for my baby.
He's trying to reinvent himself, like you said. That's what and I think he's taken advantage of this time. He's like, you know what? I can be someone else for, like you said, I can legitimize myself. But if he puts that gear on and that makeup on and gets back out there and sings, I got a body built for sin and an appetite for passion, well, and then goes all that shit that he's trying to do. So I don't know. I don't know about the tour. I just don't.
Fucking A. Anyways, if we stay on this, I'm going to get hot.
Oh, what happens when we get hot? Tell us.
Oh, is it my turn to tell us about what gets hot?
It is your turn.
Well, I'll tell you right now. Free stuff is awesome. Free stuff to spice up your bedroom is even better. Select almost any one item for 50% off. And then Adam and Eve loads on the free stuff. Enter offer code Loudcast at checkout and get 10 tantalizing free gifts. A sexy item for him, a special gift for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy as fans of Gene Simmons from
Kiss.
And 6 free spicy movies, plus free shipping. That's Loudcast at adamandeve.com for you, the fan.
Beautiful, Gene. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes. So, Tom, we call this one Album Review Part 1. And I felt like I usually keep something in an archaic Excel spreadsheet, all our statistics, all our episode, all our rankings. And we hit the 10th album that we reviewed.
Yep.
And because OCD is in major effect on me, I'm like, we should stop and review everything we've done for the first 10 albums.
Yeah.
And start ranking where we have. Now, we've been ranking these as we go along. Behind the scenes, we've also been ranking every song from every album on a master list.
Yep.
106 songs so far. So we're not going to just go through the 106 songs, but let's go back. And we don't have to go in specific order, or if you want, we can go by chronologically by how we reviewed them, or we can go by, chronologically by how Kiss released them. Do you have a preference?
I would probably say chronological, maybe.
Okay, by the band's release by us reviewing?
By the band releasing them.
Okay. So if we're going to go by that, okay, I think this was the first episode we did this year.
Yep.
Okay, and that was the debut album.
Yep.
From Kiss. We wanted to open up the second year with a bang, Tom. We opened up with an album review, the debut album.
Yep.
Up until recently, probably our most listened to episode. And it's funny because it's hard to list it and tell people what it is because you can't just say Kiss.
Right.
So,
right.
Just the simple thing of saying, make sure you put debut album on the title to get people to see what we're discussing. And, you're looking at those legendary songs. We both ranked this one very high, spoke highly of this.
Oh, yeah.
And do you want to go through what we ranked at the time?
So here's the thing about the rankings here that Zeus and I kind of want to address is that it's funny because when we do the album reviews, okay, we rank stuff like at that time, for lack of a better term. So every Kiss fan knows that your ranking of songs and albums changes at the drop of a hat. Okay. So some of these rankings might not exactly jive 100% with like the individual album review rankings. It's kind of an interesting thing. When we did the Kiss debut album,
the joke is, what's your favorite Kiss song today?
Exactly.
What's your favorite Kiss album today?
Yep.
And they change. So back then when we did this debut album, quite simply, Tom, you had Deuce, Black Diamond, Strutter, Firehouse, Nothing to Lose, Cold Gin, 100,000 Years, Let Me Know, Love Theme from Kiss, and Kissing Time. That was your order. Mine was Black Diamond, Nothing to Lose, Deuce, Firehouse, Let Me Know, Cold Gin, 100,000 Years, Strutter, Kissing Time, Love Theme from Kiss. Knowing that at the time we did this, anything stick out about this album and the way we ranked the songs?
Well, I mean, for you, it's interesting because you have Strutter like really low. Like you have it as either you can call it the 8th best or the 3rd worst, however you want to look at it. We both are not big fans of 100,000 Years, and we both have Love Theme from Kiss and Kissing Time as the bottom two, just reversed. Black Diamond is a standout. You have it 1, I have it 2. But I think this album, different people have different feelings on this album. You know, we both have Firehouse at 4, Deuce is up there. This is another one of those Kiss albums that's loaded with hits, but that also has some songs where people just kind of differ on. And I think that shows here too. You know, you have Let Me Know higher than me.
I have it higher than Cold Gin.
Exactly. Right. Which a lot of people might think you're crazy for.
Crazy, insane, crazy.
But that's interesting. But then when you go look, and and this is what I was talking about before, looking at individual song rankings, because there's been 106 Kiss songs on these 10 album reviews. And I don't know about you, I don't really have an explanation or an excuse for it. But ranking the songs that way, and it probably could have been the day that I did it, the mood that I was in. The rankings might not necessarily jive with the rankings we did at the time we recorded the episode for the Kiss debut album. And I think that's just the life of a Kiss fan, unfortunately. I don't want to say it's disingenuous because it's not. It's just like you said, what's your favorite Kiss song today? What's your worst Kiss song today? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the issue that I want to bring up specifically that sticks out for me is that this album, like you mentioned to me, like, well, you have Strutter low. It's the 8th song.
Yep.
But then when you compare it to the rest of the songs of the 106, you'll see I still have Strutter ranked decent. It's not. It's just how high do I have the other ones?
Exactly.
So it might be the 8th ranked song in this album, but where are the rest of these songs? So I think we should go through all these albums first, and then we'll circle back and go through the rankings of them as a collective unit afterwards.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So that's the thing that sticks out for me. I think the bottom two are the same. I think the top, almost the top 3. You have Strutter in your top 3.
Yep.
You don't have Nothing to Lose. You have it as number
5.
I think 5 for you. But I have everything else is top 4. The other ones are fine.
Yep.
But that's what sticks out.
Okay.
Let's go to Dress to Kill.
Okay. I have that here.
So for me, what sticks out on this
this is interesting.
is that ranking this, I think this was our first or second album review?
This was our second because we did Animalize first. Yep.
So what I noticed is like we were in that trap where we're like, oh, we got to put Rock and Roll All Night first. We both had it ranked number 1. So here's your rankings, Tom. Rock and Roll All Night, Come On and Love Me, Love Her All I Can, Rock Bottom, She, Room Service, Two Timer, Anything for My Baby, Getaway, Ladies in Waiting. Mine were Rock and Roll All Night, Come On and Love Me, Love Her All I Can, Room Service, Rock Bottom, She, Two Timer, Getaway, Ladies in Waiting, Anything for My Baby. These are very similar albums. We rank this very similar. The difference is, and you'll see it when we go to the song rankings, is like your number 7, 8 song is still really high in your rankings, whereas mine drop off dramatically. I think this is your highest ranked album. And the other thing I only want to add on this, Tom, is that, yeah, we both fell for the rock and roll night number one, and we shouldn't have.
Yeah, and I specifically remember doing this episode, and I think it's funny because when we talk about where our rankings are, there's no planet where I think Rock and Roll All Night is a better song than Come On and Love Me. But like you said, I think we were like, well, we have to rank the songs. We have to put it number one. And that happens as a Kiss fan. Sometimes you're like, I can't not have it number one because it's Rock and Roll All Night. And this is another example of when you go through the overall 106 song rankings, Rock and Roll All Night is not higher than Come On and Love Me for me. And it's probably not for you either.
No.
Right.
No, it's not. And so these things get changed. That's the thing that sticks out. I mean, I also think they're very similarly ranked. It's just when we go to the main charts and we start looking at where we rank this album and songs, you have this way above everything else. And it comes out into fruition.
Yep.
Let's move on. The next one, Rock and Roll Over, Tom.
Yep.
Our rankings, this is you, Mr. Speed, number one. Then Calling Dr. Love, Ladies Room, Take Me, Baby Driver, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, Making Love, See You in Your Dreams, Hard Luck Woman, I Want You. That's 10. Wow.
Yep.
Me, Mr. Speed, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, Baby Driver, Calling Dr. Love, Hard Luck Woman, Take Me, Making Love, Ladies Room, I Want You, See You in Your Dreams. Go ahead.
Obviously, we got the same number one. That was going to be a layup. We knew that. There are certain album reviews where we know who's going to be the number one song. The rest of this album shakes out a lot different. This is Zeus's, probably favorite album or at least favorite album that we've done so far. And this is a song that's loaded with hits, classics. Some people like this album more than others, but you can see this ranking is kind of all over the place. And I think that speaks to the quality of the album. Unlike some other albums we do where that the top 3 songs are going to be this and the bottom 2 songs are going to be this. I have I Want You last. You have it second to last. So we're on board with that. I have Ladies Room much, much higher than you do. You have it near the bottom. I have it near the top. So it's that kind of album.
For me, the big difference I would look at is, again, my 8th and 9th songs are still ranked high in my top 106.
Correct.
That's the difference. And that's your Distress to Kill. That's my Rock and Roll Over. Although someone say, you have I Want You that low or Ladies Room, that's compared to the whole album.
Yep.
And the difference is also, and I'll talk about that when we get to it, is, this has got a lot of like top-notch songs, but not like 1 or 2 top 10. There's one for both of us, Mr. Speed.
Yep.
But there's a lot of, high average songs that we have and highly ranked songs.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons
from Kiss.
Okay, Tom, you rank this one. Number 1, Radioactive, Living in Sin, Burning Up with Fever, Tunnel of Love, True Confessions, Man of 1,000 Faces, See You Tonight, See You in Your Dreams, Mr. Make-Believe, Always Near You, Nowhere to Hide, When You Wish Upon a Star. Me, I had Radioactive, Man of 1,000 Faces, Always Near You, Nowhere to Hide, Burning Up with Fever, Living in Sin, True Confessions, See You Tonight, Tunnel of Love, Mr. Make-Believe, See You in Your Dreams, When You Wish Upon a Star. I just want to open up with this. The top and the bottom were the same, and I think the rest we just mixed it up. This was, I think, the 3rd album we did, and this is when you could really see the difference in our opinions of songs. That like, how the fuck do you have that so high, and how the fuck do you have that so low? So go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, this is an album, like we said, there's few albums where you know what the number 1 song is going to be and when you know what the last song is going to be. But like Zeus said, the rest of this album could have been like thrown in and shaken up and stirred and then spit out because who knows what was going to be there. Living in Sin is definitely going to be my number 2. The rest of the album is okay. I enjoy it. It's not like I have Mr. Make-Believe number 9, but if that was the 4th song, I wouldn't care. Obviously, I remember this episode specifically. We had strong opinions on Always Near You, Nowhere to Hide. I had that second to last. You have it 3rd from the top. You have Man of 1,000 Faces 2nd. I have it in the middle of the pack. So this is one of those albums, like Zeus said, it's just interesting The top we know, the bottom we know, the middle is a mix.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's all over the place.
Yeah.
These could change on me, and I'm sure they could change for you as well.
Oh, yeah.
I just love the always near you, dispute that me and you have. I love that song. And, Man of 1,000 Faces, you have as 6. I have as 2. I like it.
Yep.
There's a lot of songs on here at the beginning that they're okay. They're not bad, but nothing that drives me like Radioactive does.
No.
And the bottom are just awful. So let's go to a more recent album that we reviewed. Let's go to Paul Stanley.
Yep.
Pandemic Paul. You had ranked number 1. Tonight You Belong to Me. It's All Right. Wouldn't you like to know me? Love in Chains. Goodbye. Take Me Away. Together as One. Ain't Quite Right. Move On. Hold Me. Touch Me. Think of Me When We're Apart. Me. I had number 1. It's All Right. Goodbye. Tonight You Belong to Me. Love in Chains. Wouldn't you like to know me? Take Me Away. Together as One. Move On. Ain't Quite Right. Hold Me, touch me, think of me when we're apart. Comments.
Yeah, this is an interesting one looking at this on the spreadsheet here because the bottom 4 songs are the same, except for 7 and 8 are mixed up a little bit. So the bottom, we both have Hold Me, Touch Me last.
Yeah.
I have Move On 8. You have Move On 7. I have Ain't Quite Right 7. You have that 8. Take Me Away. We both have 6. Then the top, I remember talking about this. The top of this is a top heavy album where you knew what your number 1 was going to be. And then after that, you could have picked anything. Tonight You Belong to Me is my favorite. Then It's All Right. Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? Love in Chains. Goodbye. I could wake up tomorrow and have those in a completely different order. And I know you probably could too. I know It's All Right is your favorite. But all those other songs, you would not have a problem with any of them. So this is one of those unique albums where the bottom we know, the top we know.
Yeah, I would say, Tom, that this is about as close as me and you've gotten.
Yeah,
like with picks.
Definitely. Oh yeah. Yep.
Right.
Agreed.
It's not usually that close, but this was pretty much on the head.
Yep.
Then let's go to one that really shows the differences between us.
Oh,
Unmasked. Boy. Tom, on this one, you had number 1, Two Sides of the Coin. Tomorrow. Is That You? Naked City. Torpedo Girl. Talk to Me. Shandy. She's So European. Easy as It Seems. You're All That I Want. What Makes the World Go Round. I had number 1. You're All That I Want. Naked City. Two Sides of the Coin. What Makes the World Go Round. Is That You? She's So European. Talk to Me. Torpedo Girl. Tomorrow. Easy as It Seems. And of course, last, Shandy. Thoughts?
Well, you hate this album. So this was a fun episode because I like it. I legitimately love this album. I listen to it often. You hate it. And I thought this was great. The fact that you have You're All That I Want number 1, and I had that second to last. You hate Shandy. It's the bottom of the barrel for you. I have Tomorrow as my second favorite. You have it near the bottom of the barrel. This was a fun episode, and I love this album. And looking at these rankings here, this is one of those few albums where I don't think I would change anything. Like, if Tomorrow could be a number 1 for me. Maybe flip the 2, but other than that, I love this album, and I'm happy with these rankings. This is kind of steady for me.
Yeah, this is one of those that's unique. Everybody that knows this podcast knows that I love You're All That I Want for some reason. And they also know I hate Shandy. But they also found out how much I hate the rest of those Paul pop songs. The only songs I like on this album, really like, are the Gene songs. The Ace songs aren't bad. But I'm not a fan of the Paul songs. Not. The one that I enjoy is What Makes the World Go Round is because friggin' Daryl put the Borat dancing video to the background.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep.
But this is all over the map. And I am not a fan of this album. I'm just not. And you will see when we get to the rankings.
Okay.
So let's go to Hot in the Shade.
Nope. Animalize. Remember, we're doing them in the order.
Oh, yeah. What? I got to move the ranking around. I'm sorry. It was just out of order.
Yep.
Nope, Animalize.
That's okay. Yep.
All right. Number 1, Tom, you had Heaven's on Fire, Burn, Bitch, Burn. I've Had Enough, Into the Fire. While the City Sleeps, Get All You Can Take, Thrills in the Night, Lonely is the Hunter, Murder in High Heels, and Under the Gun. Me, I've got Heaven's on Fire, Thrills in the Night, Under the Gun, I've Had Enough, Into the Fire, Get All You Can Take, Lonely is the Hunter, Burn, Bitch, Burn, Murder.
I was waiting for that.
In High Heels, While the City Sleeps.
So this is one, again, you knew what the number 1 song was going to be, or at least you hope you did, Heaven's on Fire. And then this is another one we're all over the place. And this is interesting because this was our very first album review when this podcast was in its infancy and we were young and we didn't know what we were doing. Not that we know what we're doing now, but so this was interesting because this is an album that I enjoy. I like Animalize. But all the songs can be, I could listen to Get All You Can Take and then throw on Murder in High Heels. I don't care. Or, put on Thrills in the Night and Lonely in the album across the board is above average to average for me. So nothing stands out. So these rankings were kind of easy. Under the Gun's going to be last for me because I don't like Fast Kiss. That was easy. You have that third. But yeah, this was a fun one. And I probably, these rankings could be changed up at any time for me, other than Heaven's on Fire first and Under the Gun last.
Yeah, Tom, you say you like this, but we'll get into the rankings later.
And that's when we're going to talk about the difference between where we are at the time of the album review and then where you are when you're compiling everything in retrospect.
Yeah, exactly. I like the fact that I don't know why you have While the City Sleeps so high. I don't get it.
I like it.
It's awful.
You have it last, which is funny. That is not the worst song on the album.
The reason why is because I find Murder funny. I find it humorous. That's why I didn't make that last.
It's probably the best Kiss song title that they have. Murder in High Heels. It's fucking ridiculous.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Asylum, which I didn't even input into the charts. I still have on my cheat sheet here.
Yep, I have mine. So I had Tears Are Falling, Secretly Cruel, Any Way You Slice It, Who Wants to Be Lonely, All Night, Radar for Love, Trial by Fire, Love's a Deadly Weapon, King of the Mountain, and I'm Alive.
Yeah, mine was Tears Are Falling, Secretly Cruel, Who Wants to Be Lonely, All Night, Any Way You Slice It, I'm Alive, Trial by Fire, King of the Mountain, Radar for Love. Fuck yeah. Love's a Deadly Weapon.
So this was one, again, we knew Tears Are Falling was going to be first, and who knows where everything else was going to be. Another top-heavy album. You had I'm Alive way too high. I had that dead last. We're both obviously not fans of King of the Mountain. And the rest of the album, obviously we're fans of the Gene songs on this. So this is the one that's in every, freshest in everyone's mind because it was last week's episode. But yeah, kind of a top-heavy album for me, Yeah, and I think for you too.
Tom, is the first 5 are the same.
Exactly.
Different order, but for us, the first 5 are the same.
It kind of reminds me of the Paul Stanley solo album rankings.
Yeah, and then the rest get thrown around. It doesn't make a difference.
Exactly.
Hot in the Shade.
Let's do it.
You had number 1. You Love Me to Hate You Forever. Silver Spoon. Hide Your Heart. King of Hearts. Rise to It. The Street Giveth and the Street Taketh Away. Little Caesar. Love's a Dick Slap in the Face. Prisoner of Love. Betrayed. Somewhere Between Heaven and My Ass. Read My Ball Bag. Cadillac Dreams. And Shit Bag. Oh, I'm sorry. Boomerang.
Oh, so this one I knew. I know, me and Zeus have been Kiss fans for a while. We've been friends for a while, so we knew that we were going to have You Love Me to Hate You at the top. A lot of people are probably like, what the fuck? We knew we were going to have Boomerang last. I was surprised to see Zeus also have Forever that high. We both love Silver Spoon. We both love Hide Your Heart. And then the rest of this album, there's 15 tracks. So there's a big mishmash about a lot of these songs. For me, they're all, I love Hot in the Shade. We're on record as saying we both love this album. We know that a lot of you bozos out there hate this album, maybe because you think there's too many songs, but Zeus has argued about that many times. So yeah, this is, I think, just so many songs. But the top of the rankings are fairly similar. You're a much bigger fan of Little Caesar than I am. But yeah, I mean, a couple of these songs are similar, and then they're kind of all over the place.
All right, so should I read my list now?
I thought you did.
I read yours first.
Oh, shit. All right, go ahead.
It's all good. You Love Me to Hate You, Forever, Little Caesar, Silver Spoon, Hide Your Heart, Cadillac Dreams, Rise to It, King of Hearts, Love's a Dick Slap in the Face, Somewhere Between Heaven and My Ass, Read My Ball Bag, Street Give It and the Street Take It Away, Christ. Betrayed, Prisoner of Love, and fucking Shitbag Boomerang. Now, I hear you what you're saying. Obviously, the top two and the bottom are the same for us. That's what sticks out, right?
Yep.
The rest are all in between. So, our good friends from Cobras and Fire discussed the fact on their podcast. They did a double episode about Hot in the Shade. And they try to get back at us or something because we were making fun of his ridiculously stupid analysis of Peter Criss singing.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
And he liked to bring up the fact that he says when he gave the comparisons to Phil Collins, Don Henley, and Bret Michaels. And we laughed about how stupid of a comment it is to add Bret Michaels between this. Yep. And he kept on inserting in there just because Bret Michaels is known to do it. Listen,
I know.
Maybe he's known to it because you listen to his stupid, awful music.
Yep.
And you follow that crap band. But to me and you, Bret Michaels isn't known for anything other than being the bozo from Poison. So I'm sorry we didn't know Bret Michaels is known for stupid shit. So is the fucking used car salesman in fucking Leicester, Massachusetts.
That's also true.
You didn't know that.
That's also true.
Yeah, no shit. Fuck, Bret Michaels. The fucking ridiculous.
Who what? Bret where?
Bret where? Anyway, just to steer the car back into the lane, I listened to their album review of Hot in the Shade. They did do an excellent job. Better than, I would say they're a step below us, but, they were the second best.
Nobody does an album review like Shout It Out Loudcast. You could print that.
Yeah. And, thanks for the tip of the hat that we didn't, copy this from anybody.
No, they copied us.
Yeah. Well, album reviews isn't a copyright kind of thing. So
no, it is. It is. We own it. No one can do it.
No one is allowed
to talk about Kiss albums. Nope. It's a cease and desist. I'm doing it for you.
Well, I think
the fan.
Yeah. But what I think they did is they made it unique and try to cut out some of the songs, which was later done by somebody else too.
Why do people want to cut songs out of this? Like you always say, I hate that idea.
I can have 10 songs or I can have 6 songs.
No, but
it's going to cost me the same. If I don't like those 4 songs, I won't listen to them.
I'm going to tell
you, Tom, the fan, like those 4 songs.
Oh, but here's a reason why I don't want to cut these songs out. Even though Boomerang is a pile of steaming shit, I want the song on the album so that we can talk about how badly it sucks. It gives us entertainment too. I like these Kiss albums that have bad songs on them. Because I don't want to be there like, oh yeah, Silver Spoon's great. You Love Me to Hate is great. Oh, Forever, that's great. Yeah.
Do you like Kiss? I love Kiss.
Hi, yeah, that's great. I want to be like, oh, Prisoner of Love is fucking trash.
Tom, there won't be any bad comments about Kiss on this podcast.
You're right.
If you're gonna make any comments about Kiss, I'm gonna disconnect your microphone and shut you off.
They have to be positive. Is that a positive thing?
Only positive comments about Kiss, or you're not allowed on here.
Yeah, if you're a new listener, yeah, that's what we do here. If you're an old listener, you know we're both full of shit.
Yeah. Anyways, enough of taking shots about everybody in the fucking podcast world.
Fuck them all.
Fucking Baco.
We're going to have him on one of our live streams and go at it.
Anyways, let's go over to your favorite album, Psycho Circus.
Oh, fucking trash heap.
I knew we were off to a bad start when
we're off to a bad start already.
Yeah. We're also going to include in this ranking In Your Face, the extra song on there, because eventually we'd like to think we went through every Kiss song. So you had number 1, I Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll. That's almost as bad as like Elvis's like fucking Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce song. Like, that is the worst fucking title I've ever heard.
We got to win this race. 2 weeks in a row you can drop that in. Oh, man. Go ahead.
Excuse me. Raise Your Glasses. In Your Face.
Yep.
Psycho Circus. Into the Void. Within. Dreamin'. You Wanted the Best. Journey of 1,000 Years. We Are One. I Finally Found My Way. I had number 1, Raise Your Glasses. Within. Journey of 1,000 Years. You Wanted the Best. Into the Void. In Your Face. I Finally Found My Way. We Are One. I Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll. Psycho Circus, and then Dreamin'.
Dude, okay, couple things here. It is roundly agreed in Kiss World that I Finally Found My Way is one of the all-time worst. You have it ranked 6th on an album out of 10. That song is a fucking train wreck. It's horrible. I'll be on. I know I Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll is a horribly embarrassing song title, but I like the song. I like the lyrics and the title are horrible. The same thing with Raise Your Glasses. The lyrics and the song title are horrible, but the song is cool. Psycho Circus, Into the Void, Within, and then it just goes off a fucking cliff as the album continues. As my rankings continue. This is not a good album. So
Raise Your Glasses should be in at least one sports championship winning video montage.
Well, no,
from the 80s.
Well, you can't do that. It promotes drinking because when you raise your glasses, you're raising a glass of champagne. You can't do that.
It should be in every championship video for like kids winning the state title or something. It's the fucking bomb. I love that. It's not very Kiss-like, but it's a great song.
It's a good song. Yeah. But your rankings are fucking horrible, man. I love you to death. You're my buddy and my partner, but
Dreamin', number fucking 6.
You're stuck. Dude, that song's horrible.
Psycho Circus is the worst fucking played song in any Kiss concert.
It
ever.
Is not.
It is the worst played Kiss song in the last 20 years played in concert.
You don't like the chorus.
It is the worst song played in the Kiss fucking concert set list.
Are you pulling the Eddie Murphy? Wasn't me. You're just going to keep saying it until you get me to believe it.
Fucking name me a worse song played. It might be of all time.
Let Me Go Rock and Roll.
Let Me Go Rock and Roll is one of the best songs live. Are you shitting me? Name me a worse song than Psycho Circus played live.
Okay.
That you can think of.
I will, and this is going to annoy you, and I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be funny. Beth.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Why? Beth is horrible.
Millions and millions of people that love hearing Beth. I may not be one of them.
There are millions and millions of people that hate Kiss. So fuck them.
Psycho Circus is the worst Kiss song in a set list.
There's your poll question for Monday, people. Pay attention. Dude, this episode fucking went off the rails. We were like, oh, yeah, your ranking's this. Now it's like, fuck you.
I'm not upset with you. I'm just saying.
No, I'm kidding.
Psycho Circus, the song, is the worst played song in a set list by Kiss. I can't think of another one worse.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. So those are all 10 albums.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, what I did, because I have major OCD.
I love what you did.
We ranked every song, 106 songs.
And for the next 3 hours, we're gonna read them to you.
So before we do the song rankings, let's do what we always do first, and that is the album rankings. Tom, you ranked album covers this way.
Yep.
Okay. Tom, you had is the first album cover rated number 1 for you. Rock and Roll Over. Then Gene Simmons, Dressed to Kill, Kiss, Paul Stanley, Unmasked, Psycho Circus, Hot in the Shade, Asylum, Animalize.
Okay.
I had Rock and Roll Over, Gene Simmons.
From Kiss.
Dress to Kill, Kiss, Paul Stanley, Asylum, Psycho Circus, Unmasked, Hot in the Shade, Animalize. Want to break that down?
Yeah, this is one thing. The rankings for me probably will not change, and if they do, it might be the bottom of the barrel. But based on these 10 albums, I don't have any qualms about these rankings. You know, I know the Gene Simmons album; it's just him. But you're talking about arguably the most iconic photo / painting / album cover of Gene Simmons that there is. Dress to Kill, Kiss, Paul Stanley, Unmasked. I'm surprised. I know a lot of people don't like the Unmasked cover. I think it's creative, you know, with the comic book thing. Animalized, we both have last. It's going to be pretty interesting to see if anything could top that off. You have Asylum way higher than me, and I don't understand that. But you said you enjoyed that cover. You thought it was unique for the time. But yeah, no, I think you know, we have the top 5 all the same.
Top 5 is the same in the bottom on the 10th, Animalize.
Yep.
So basically, I also did is I took the average of these between you and I.
Yep.
So between you and I, this is how they came out in order. Rock and Roll Over is number 1. Gene Simmons, number 2. Dress to Kill, number 3. Number 4 is Kiss. Number 5 is Paul Stanley. Since we had them in order, that makes sense.
Yep.
Then Psycho Circus and Unmasked are tied next. And then Asylum, then Hot in the Shade, and finally Animalized.
Yep. So those are like the composite rankings based on like our average placement in our rankings. So yeah, and those are fine. I mean, I know there's a couple differences from each of our personal rankings, but
Unmasked and Asylum, if they were switched, would have been exactly how I ranked them.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Hot in the Shade and Asylum are mixed up a little bit for me, and that's actually the only difference. The composite ranking is a little bit different with those two, and that's it. And I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yep.
So the next thing we did, Tom, we ranked all 106 songs.
We did.
Now, I don't think it's a good idea and not very good listening to listen to both me and you read off 106 songs.
No.
So let's rank. Now, again, we know these songs will contradict some of the album reviews that we did. For instance, when we talk about our songs, the first song Tom's going to rank, you can be like, wait a minute, you had that song number 2 on Dress to Kill. How the hell is that the number 1 song?
Exactly.
Because we've changed our minds on a lot of this stuff.
Yep.
It's what we think of right now. And so let's do this, Tom.
Okay.
Why don't you read your top 20? I'll read my top 20.
Okay.
Then we'll read song 86 through 106.
Okay.
Yours and then mine.
Bottom 20.
Top
All
20,
right.
bottom 20.
So here's my top 20, starting from number 20 and going up. And this is based on these 10 albums that we reviewed. Number 20, Heaven's on Fire. 19, Calling Dr. Love. 18, Ladies' Room. 17, She. 16, Anything for My Baby. 15, It's All Right. 14, You Love Me to Hate You. 13, Room Service. 12, Firehouse. 11, Radioactive. 10, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? 9, Strutter. 8, Rock and Roll All Night. 7, Rock Bottom. 6, Tonight You Belong to Me. 5, Mr. Speed. 4, Lover All I Can. 3, Black Diamond. 2, Deuce. 1, Come On and Love Me. And as Zeus said, these rankings are not probably going to go and coincide with our album rankings that we read, and that's because it's just a whole different experience doing a big list of song rankings and the timing of it and how you feel at the time. So that's that.
Number 20 for me, Naked City. 19, Raise Your Glasses. 18, Lover All I Can. 17, Secretly Cruel. 16, Heaven's on Fire. 15, Calling Dr. Love. 14, Tears Are Falling. 13, Radioactive. 12, Rock and Roll All Night. 11, Forever. 10, Firehouse. 9, You Love Me to Hate You. 8, Deuce. 7, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. 6, You're All That I Want. 5, Come On and Love Me. 4, Nothing to Lose. 3, It's All Right. 2, Mr. Speed. Number 1, Black Diamond.
Nice.
Now I want to come up with a couple quick things on mine.
Yep. Go ahead.
And then I want to talk a couple things on yours. And then I want you to talk about yours and then mine.
Go ahead.
So first thing I'll say is, you noticed, 2 of the top 4 songs has Peter Criss singing.
Yep.
Hence my love for him. And the rasp, the screeching. Black Diamond for me is the ultimate Kiss song. It's the one song I say you could play to anybody, classic rock, fucking snob, young, old, whatever, and be like, damn, that's a fucking good song.
Yep.
And it's a great concert, live staple. And I love the 2 people singing it, and Peter goes nuts. The other thing, I know there are stuff in here that people might be like, what the fuck do you have Raise Your Glasses? You're All That I Want. They're just different songs that give me a different sentimentality how I feel when I listen to them. It's just something that moves me. I can't explain it. There is some fatigue in here, but for the most part, I look at my list, then I look at your list. For my You're All That I Want and Raise Your Glasses, I look over yours, Tom, and I say, well, you have Anything for My Baby, which I'd be like, what?
Yep.
You have Tonight You Belong to Me. Strutter. I'm so tired of that song in there.
Yep.
And, other than that, we have probably about, 15 or maybe the same top 20 songs, I would guess. I don't know.
Yep.
There's a lot of similarities. I know that you love Come On and Love Me, and that doesn't surprise me. But, I can't really fault you on this. You have some songs that stick out. I have some songs that stick out. Over to you, buddy.
So it's interesting because for somebody who has Unmasked ranked last and who on record hate that album, you have 2 songs in the top 20. So I found that interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You also
wait till you find out what I have in the bottom 20.
Oh, I know. And it's also interesting because you have a lot more quote unquote newer songs. You have 2 songs from Hot in the Shade, 2 songs from Asylum, a song from Animalize, a song from Psycho Circus. In my entire top 20, I have 1 song from Animalize, 1 song from Hot in the Shade. Everything else is all early makeup stuff.
Yeah.
Now, that being said,
whoa.
Go ahead.
How many do you have from one of those albums?
I pretty much have the entire Dress to Kill album there. Yeah.
That's the thing that sticks out.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. No, it's true. And then looking at it again, it's like we said, Deuce, that's a Gene song. It's always going to be there for me. Black Diamond, I could have that there. Lover All I Can't. Dress to Kill, as you see, is one of my all-time favorite albums. There's a couple songs as we get down into, probably the 11 through 20, where looking at them now, I'm like, do I really like She better than Callin' Dr. Love? I don't know. Do I like it better than Ladies Room? Do I like You Love Me to Hate Me better than Callin' Dr. Love? Maybe not. But again, it's at the time that you make these.
Yeah, it's just like overall in my life, how much did I like Dr. Love when I heard in 1978? Way more than I heard You Love Me to Hate Me in 1989.
It's true.
Over time, This is where I'm at now.
Right.
But the other thing that sticks out is you have 3 Paul Stanley solo album songs on there in your top 20.
Yep.
3, Tom.
Yep. I know. Right? That's crazy. Yeah, I know.
We both have a Gene Simmons, the one song by Gene.
Yep.
And that's I just find this stuff so fascinating when you put the pen to the paper and you're like, all right, this is my list.
And plus people that listen to us, they know how much we love breaking down and analyzing lists and rankings and talking about where things are and why they're there. And that's we just love doing that. And what's better than talking about a Kiss list?
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to see where. I mean, I had a hard time breaking songs 60 to 80. I mean, all the way through.
Yep, I agree.
All right, so Tom, why don't we go to number 86, I believe, to 106.
Okay.
The worst song. You want to start off first? Excuse me.
Why don't you go? I did the top 20. Why don't you can start with the bottom 20. Go ahead. 86.
Number 86, Radar for Love. 87, Tomorrow. 88, Anything for My Baby. 89, The Street Giveth and the Street Taketh Away. 90, Cycle Circus. 91, Dreamin'. 92, Murder in High Heels. 93, While the City Sleeps. 94, See You in Your Dreams, Rock and Roll Over. Mr. Make Believe, 95. 96, Betrayed. 97, See You in Your Dreams, Gene Simmons. 98, Prisoner of Love. 99, Ain't Quite Right. 100, Love's a Deadly Weapon. 101, Easy as It Seems. 102, Love Theme from Kiss. 103, Boomerang. 104, When You Wish Upon a Star. 105, Hold Me, Touch Me, Think of Me When We're Apart. 106, Shandy.
That is fucking insane. Absolute fucking madness. That's the worst. But all right, I'm gonna read mine. This is fun. All right. 86, Under the Gun. 87, See You Tonight, Gene Simmons. Oh, that was See You in Your Dreams. I didn't need to clarify that. 88, You're All That I Want.
Oh.
89, Dreamin'. 90, True Confessions. 91, Mr. Make Believe. 92, Lonely is the Hunter. 93, Love's a Deadly Weapon. 94, Murder in High Heels. Number 5, Cadillac Dreams. 96, Love Theme from Kiss. 97, Kissin' Time. 98, Journey of 1,000 Years. 99, Always Near You, Nowhere to Hide. 100, You Wanted the Best. 101, Hold Me, Touch Me, Think of Me When We're Apart. 102, Boomerang. 103, I'm Alive. 104, We Are One. 105, I Finally Found My Way. And 106, When You Wish Upon a Star. Go ahead, Zeus.
104?
104 was We Are One.
Oh, I thought you said We Are Wildness. Okay,
I'd rather have that. Go ahead.
All right. So I analyze first. You analyze first now.
Okay. So this doesn't surprise me that this is kind of all over the place. Obviously, the ones at the very bottom are similar. We have When You Wish Upon a Star. I have that dead last. You have it 104. Hold Me, Touch Me is there. Boomerang is there. The fact that you have Shandy last is honestly, that's fucking mind numbing. And it's just fucking nuts. You have Tomorrow 87, which is probably my first or second favorite song off Unmasked. The Street Giveth. I love that song. Prisoner of Love off Hot in the Shade. I like that song. There's a lot of similarities here, but there's a lot of differences. We both have Murder in High Heels. We both have Love Theme from Kiss. We both have a lot of Gene Simmons stuff, Mr. Make Believe. You have Anything for My Baby, 88. I have that ranked very high for me. This is kind of like it's kind of reflective of some of the albums that we do where the bottom is similar and it's kind of like everything else is kind of a mishmash. But there are a lot of similarities and then there's a lot of what the fucks here too.
All right. So I know we started from 86.
Yep.
But 86, 81, a Gene Simmons album. 83, Gene Simmons. 84, Gene Simmons. 87, Gene Simmons. 90, Gene Simmons. 91, Gene Simmons. 99, Gene Simmons. And the worst song, Gene Simmons.
Yep.
Holy fuck, that's bad.
Yep. Well, because it's going. Look at all the other albums we ranked. I mean, we ranked like we reviewed unbelievable albums. So I'm sorry, a lot of those songs
sticks out for me.
It does.
All right. So with that, I cannot believe 86 down. You had See You Tonight's a decent song. It's not a bad song. You're All That I Want. I love that song. I can't see why you think it's that bad. I can see like, oh, I don't like it like you like it. But it's not a bad song that at least I don't think it is. It's not something like, oh, turn that off. It's fucking horrible.
Right.
I know you hate Cadillac Dreams. I like that song.
Terrible song.
Journey of 1,000 Years. I love the way that song builds. Always Near You, Nowhere to Hide. Another one I love that builds. We're the same on Boomerang. I actually like Fast I'm Alive. Boomerang, When You Wish Upon a Star, Hold Me, Touch Me. Love's a Deadly Weapon, Ain't Quite Right. Betrayed. Shit like that. While the City Sleeps, Murder in High Heels, like Dreaming. I feel like those are all kind of similar.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you. After The Street Giveth, I mean, even tomorrow, like, they're not like, oh, turn this off.
Right, but something
Radar
has to
for
be
Love,
there.
The same thing, Read My Body, something has to be there.
Exactly.
When I start going from like While the City Sleeps, See You in Your Dreams, Mr. It's shit that I'm like, oh my God. I refuse to change a song when Kiss is playing, but I'm very tempted when those come on.
I'll be honest with you, when you start to get to right around, like, I have Journey of 1,000, like, once you start to get to around 100,
yeah,
that bottom right there is just, it's going to take a lot to move those guys out of there. When the more albums we do, it's going to take a lot to move those guys out of there.
Yeah. So what we should be doing now is going to look at the average of these songs. You gave your top 20. I gave my top 20.
Yep.
I gave my bottom 20. You gave your bottom 20. But all those songs weren't, combined. Some of them, we had them all over the place. You saw I had You All I Want in top 20. You had You All I Want in the bottom 20.
Yep.
So where are the middle songs? Where are the top 20 ranked songs between me and you?
Okay.
And I have them listed as our best and worst ranked songs. These are the average ratings. So do you mind if I read them first? And you can do the worst.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you read the
number 20th song.
Yeah, and these are like the aggregate rankings of me and you combined top 20.
Correct. Between me and you. Number 20, Tom, with 22.5 was the average ranking, was Secretly Cruel. Number 19 with a ranking of 20 average, Tears Are Falling. Number 18 with their average rating of 19, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. Number 17 with an average rating of 18.5, Rock Bottom. Number 15 and 16 are tied with 18 points average apiece, Forever and Heaven's on Fire. Number 14 at 17.5 average, Tonight You Belong to Me. 11, 12, and 13 all ranked an average of 17 points.
Yep.
And they are Nothing to Lose, Room Service, Calling Dr. Love. Number 8 and 9 tied with 11.5.
And you skip Radioactive, number 10.
Oh, for 10. I apologize.
Yep.
Radioactive with 12 points.
Yep.
8 and 9 are tied with 11.5. Firehouse, You Love Me to Hate You. Number 7, Love Her All I Can, 11. Number 6, Rock and Roll All Night with 10 points was ranked.
Yep.
Number 5, It's All Right with an average of a 9. Number 4, 5.5, Deuce. Number 3, at 3.5, Mr. Speed. Number 2, with an average score of 3, Come On and Love Me. And the number 1 ranked song, which an average of 2, was my number 1, your number 3. 2 points, Black Diamond. Thoughts about that, Tom?
Well, my first thoughts are, I don't know if our audience are smart enough to understand what we've done here with these statistical analysis here. So I hope they have. If not, you can call us or email us at shoutoutloudcast@gmail.com. We can offer you tutoring services via Skype. So that being said, this ranking here, if this was my top 20, I would have no problem with it, obviously. And that's where these aggregate numbers come from. I think the only one that might be in this top 20 that might not be in mine, looking at it quickly, maybe Secretly Cruel and Tears Are Falling. The rest of this list it's terrific. I'm not going to argue with it. I mean, Black Diamond.
Tears Are Falling, Secretly Cool, like in the 60s or 70s for you?
No, I think they're just outside my top 20. Yeah. No. So it's a great top 20, especially the top like 5.
Okay. You know what sticks out? I mean, to most of our listeners, You Love Me to Hate You will be like, what the fuck is that doing in there?
That's just a personal favorite of ours. It's just the way it is.
It's All Right at number 9.
Yep.
The only other one that I think I'm surprised of all these songs, Room Service.
I didn't know that you liked that song that much.
I do.
Okay,
I do, but I think it's a top 20 song, I guess, for me.
Yep.
And, that's what's in there.
Yep.
I just find that list. So the final list: Black Diamond, Come On and Love Me, Mr. Speed, Deuce, It's All Right, It's Rock and Roll All Night, Love Her All I Can, Firehouse, You Love Me to Hate You, Radioactive, Nothing to Lose, Room Service, Calling Dr. Love, Tonight You Belong to Me, Heaven's on Fire, Forever, Rock Bottom, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, Tears Are Falling, Secretly Cruel.
So those
That's
are
our top 20.
Those are our aggregate top 20 songs after 10 album episodes.
Okay. Do you want to read from the bottom the aggregate worst 20 songs?
Yep. So these are the 20 worst songs. I will start. I will go in reverse order. So the last one I read will be the dead last song. So Read My Body with a score of 81.5. Psycho Circus with a score of 82. Radar for Love with a score of 82.5. Ain't Quite Right with a score of 83. Tied with a score of 83.5 is King of the Mountain and Easy as It Seems. With a score of 84, the Gene Simmons version of See You in Your Dreams. Tied with a score of 87.5, I'm Alive and While the City Sleeps. 88, Betrayed. 89.5, I Finally Found My Way. 90, Dreamin'. 90.5, We Are One. Tied at 93, Murder in High Heels and Mr. Make Believe. 96.5 is Love's a Deadly Weapon. 99, Love Theme from Kiss.
Top three
worst. 102.5, Boomerang. 103, Hold Me, Touch Me, Think of Me When We're Apart. And with an aggregate score of 105, the worst song after our 10 album rankings is When You Wish Upon a Star. Zeus, what do you think, buddy?
I find this list to be pretty accurate. I think we'll get some shit for King of the Mountain being in there and idiots that like Psycho Circus. Other than that, who's really putting their foot down and be like, oh no, like there's nothing in here that I have in my top 20 or something.
Out of 106 songs, there's no way I would have Psycho Circus in here. There is no way I would have, I shouldn't say no way, but no, I actually, you know what, looking at this, I think Psycho Circus is the only one. I'm not going to tell you that I love the song, because it's not a great song. I don't love the song. It should not be in the 20 worst out of 106 songs, in my opinion. Your scoring fucked up this ranking.
It did on a lot of yours, I too.
You weighted it badly, but other than that, I have no problem with this top 20 or bottom 20.
And those are the aggregate scores. Top 20 best, top 20 worst. So if you take those scores and we do our album rankings. So our original album rankings, top 10, Tom, do you want to read your top 10 originally?
At the time of this recording, before we did all these number crunching, this was my ranking after the 10 albums. Number 1, Dress to Kill, Kiss, Rock and Roll Over, Paul Stanley, Unmasked, Hot in the Shade, Asylum, Gene Simmons, Animalize, Psycho Circus.
Me, Rock and Roll Over, Kiss, Paul Stanley, Dress to Kill, Hot in the Shade, Asylum, Animalize, Psycho Circus, Gene Simmons, Unmasked. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already went over this a little bit here with what we think, but you're right. Some of the statistics, and this comes into play where when you look at an album as a whole, as opposed to taking 106 songs and ranking them, it's weird. The numbers aren't going to make sense. And I'm sure all the Kiss fans out there listening are going to understand that when you hold an album in your hand, when you hold Animalize in your hand, you're going to be like, oh, I like this album. It's not great, but I like it. But then when you throw in all the songs from Animalize in with the other 9 albums, the rankings might not make sense. But there's still something where you can say, but I still like Animalize. And
I think the album cover, your sentimental, mental feelings about the album, when you bought it, when you got into it, things like that change your opinion about it.
And the flow of the track list, the songs put together, listening to it, it's different.
You have nostalgia with Unmasked. I have none.
Right.
I didn't get into Unmasked. When I first got Unmasked, I was like, what the fuck is this album?
Right.
Is this when they took their makeup off?
Right.
And I'm like, no, it's not. So I have nothing there. Psycho Circus, was that nostalgic for you?
No, that's why it's last.
That's my point. So obviously I'm going to have a little bit of a, thing for Asylum or Animalize more. And that's when I came into the Kiss. My second win got back into Kiss.
Yep.
So Tom, those are our rankings, right?
Yep.
If you took those rankings, just on we ranked them ourselves without the numbers and stuff.
Yep.
This is how we would churn out. The number 1 song, the number 10th song album ranked between my ranking and your rankings would be Unmasked with a score of a 9.
Once again, your number's fucking up everything.
With an 8.5, Gene Simmons. With an 8, Animalize. With a 7.5, Unmasked.
Wait.
I'm reading it upside down, going up.
How can Unmasked be in there twice?
Oh, then you know what? Did I rate this wrong? Unmasked was a 5, and I had it as a 10, so that's 7.5. So then Unmasked can't be last. It's what do you call it as last? Psycho Circus is last.
Yes.
Yeah, so Psycho Circus is last with a 9.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Then Gene Simmons 8.5, Animalize with an 8, 7.5 is Unmasked, 6.5 Asylum, 5.5 Hot in the Shade, 3.5 Paul Stanley, 2.5 Dressed to Kill, 2 Kiss, 2 Rock and Roll Over. So between how we rank them, Rock and Roll Over and Kiss are the best albums that we ranked. They're tied.
Yeah,
on the aggregate. On the average.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That makes sense. Yep.
So what we did then, in addition to this, because again, if you don't have a popsicle headache, okay, you will now.
Yep.
So I took every song of every album and I took the average. So for Dressed to Kill, if there was, the combined average score, okay, what is that score of all the songs on the average song of Dressed to Kill?
So what you did was you took the rankings of us being like the individual album rankings based on the albums as a whole. Okay. And then you compared it to when we took all when we took all those songs and where their rankings fell in that overall 106 song ranking and compared the two. It's pulling the stats apart, which is why we hope you guys have a popsicle headache. But this is what happens when two hosts of a KISS podcast are OCD and love numbers.
Yeah. So here's what's interesting, Tom.
Yep.
By far, between me and you, no album gets ranked as good as you ranked Dressed to Kill. The average song on Dressed to Kill was a 23.9.
Yep.
Nothing comes close to that.
Nope.
Okay. The next best average rating was mine for the album Kiss, which was a 31.5.
Yep.
Nothing comes close to that. So, Tom, if I look at your rankings based on the songs, where you put them on your list, your albums will flip. So Dressed to Kill would be number 1 for you still.
Yep.
But Rock and Roll Over would hop over Kiss. That'd be your second best. Then Kiss, then Paul Stanley, then Unmasked, then Hot the Shade. So everything's the same so far, with the exception of Kiss and Rock and Roll Over switching places. Then it would still be Asylum. But here's where it gets interesting. Animalized, you have underneath Gene Simmons' solo album.
Yep.
It's not even close. Gene Simmons is 76.9. You have the average song on there.
So it should be
Animalized is 66.88.
Yeah. So Gene Simmons, and this is what we talked about, the dynamics of the individual songs versus the album. And it's kind of inexplicable.
Yeah.
It kind of makes no sense. But if you want to look at numbers too, Gene Simmons' album has When You Wish Upon a Star. That's an anchor around the neck of that album. I ranked that last. That got a 106. So that right there is going to take. It's like when you have a classroom full of smart kids and you got one fucking dipshit.
That's not true though, Tom, because as I read early in your list, there was like 6 songs in the bottom 25.
No, it's true. It's true.
So what you did have though is in the top 15, I think, Radioactive.
Exactly. And that lifted it way up.
Way up compared to the others. Because if you didn't, that would be your worst rated album.
Well, by far.
It goes for you. The worst rated albums as far as the songs would go is number 10 would be Psycho Circus. Number 9 would be Gene Simmons. 8 would be Animalized. 7, Asylum. 6, Hot in the Shade. 5, Unmasked. 4, Paul Stanley. 3 would be Kiss. 2 would be Rock and Roll Over. 1 would be Dress to Kill.
And I think this is where the argument about sentimentality comes in, because if you're breaking down stats, there's no reason why I like Gene Simmons as much as I do. But I love Radioactive. I love the album cover. I like Living in Sin. I like Burning Up with Fever. So, that, and I'm sure Kiss fans out there, know what I'm talking about. You're going to tell people, I love this album, but half of it sucks.
Yeah. For me now, it's funny. It gets interesting. So I have a couple changes. And the big one would be Kiss is ranked higher than Rock and Roll Over, which I never expected. See You in Your Dreams kills Rock and Roll Over for me because everything else is highly rated. On Rock and Roll Over. See You in Your Dreams hurts it. But the other problem with Rock and Roll Over is after Mr. Speed, nothing really is top 10 version versus Kiss, which has a bunch.
Right.
And I don't rank even the worst songs on Kiss that low. So I have Kiss is ranked my number 1 at 31.5. Then it would be Rock and Roll Over 35.6. And the biggest fucking mystery to me is I remember when we had Paul Stanley album, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to put it over Dress to Kill," and you were like, "What?" And everybody was like, "What?" I'm like, "I just do. I like it better." I don't like it better because it's not even fucking close.
No,
I have Dress to Kill at 36.8. I have Paul Stanley at 55.44.
But here's the problem with stats, Zeus. That's because you have Hold Me, Touch Me, and Ain't Quite Right, dragging the rest of that spectacular album way down and fucking up the aggregate. And that's why these numbers are interesting, and they don't really matter when you're talking about an album and being a Kiss fan, because you love the Paul Stanley album.
Yeah.
And for it to, and those 2 songs drag it all the way down.
Anything for My Baby is the only one I really don't like on Dress to Kill.
Right.
Everything else I really like.
Right.
So I really fucked that up. So Dress to Kill.
I don't think you did though. I don't think you did.
20 points difference. It's a huge difference.
Because those 2 songs are in your bottom 20.
Yeah, but then I shouldn't be having an album being more highly ranked. I love more like a lot of the better songs better. Like it's Paul Stanley's best 5 songs I like better than the Paul Stanley than the Dress to Kill top 5.
And that's why you have Paul Stanley
the last
higher.
5 and 4, whatever they are, not even close.
And that's why you have to look at this as a whole, which is why that's why you had Paul Stanley ranked higher.
So again, Kiss at 31.5, Rock and Roll Over 35.6, Dress to Kill 36.8, very close.
Yep.
And then it goes a huge drop. Then to Paul Stanley at 55.44. Then everything's in order. 57.46, Hot in the Shade, Asylum 58.8, Animalized 59.88, Psycho Circus 61, Gene Simmons 65.63, Unmasked 68.45. So after that fuck up with Paul Stanley Dress to Kill and Kiss and Rock and Roll Over, everything goes back in order for me.
Yep.
So, all right, those are our rankings. Okay?
Yep.
So the last thing we really want to compare is how did each album compare combined? We just did your combined score by song ranking.
Yep.
My combined score by song ranking. Let's go by number 10 in order. How we ranked each song. How do these albums go? Tom, do you want to read this list?
I'll read this. So this list is the combined 10 album ranking when you look at all the scoring of me and Zeus put together. Okay. So with that, you have number 10, Gene Simmons at 71.26, Psycho Circus at 69.9, Animalize at 63.38, Asylum 58.75, Unmasked 58.13, Hot in the Shade 55.3, Paul Stanley 49.44, Rock and Roll Over 37.65, Kiss 36.7, and Dress to Kill 30.35 as the number 1 overall ranked album by song ranking.
Yeah, because of your fucking rankings are the fucking huge anomaly with 23.9.
That's because the fucking album's amazing. Come On and Love Me is the best song. Rock Bottom, all those Rock and Roll All Night.
So I will take this.
Love Her All I Can.
You win album. I win song. My number one song was the number one song between us. Your number one album was the number one album between us.
That's true. That is true. It's a good point. Yep.
So if we went by rankings versus song rankings of albums, Dress to Kill and Rock and Roll Over were tied. On this one, Dress to Kill is Rock and Roll Over and Kiss were tied. Yep. On the song way, Dress to Kill is number one, Kiss is number two. So Kiss stays at number two, kind of.
Yep.
Well, Rock and Roll Over goes from 1 to 3, technically.
Looking at the album rankings based on the combined like song scores compared to the regular episode album rankings, I don't have a problem with it. It's Dress to Kill, Kiss, Rock and Roll Over, Paul Stanley. My regular ranking is Dress to Kill, Kiss, Rock and Roll Over, Paul Stanley. It's the same 4. And then this goes Hot in the Shade, Unmasked. Mine went Unmasked, Hot in the Shade. And then the bottom, instead of Animalized, Psycho Circus, it's Psycho Circus, Gene Simmons by a little bit. So it's interesting, or at least I think this is interesting. Our listeners are probably maybe crash into a telephone pole right now, but that's okay. But I love looking at this stuff. But I think the over, if we kind of want to kind of round third base and heading home here with the analysis, I think the main thing for me is an album exists as a whole for a reason. And you take that album, you love that album, you put it on, you listen to it, you enjoy its ups and its downs, and pulling it apart and putting it with other songs is going to be a whole different experience, as these numbers show.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely.
Yep.
I can't do there are 10 albums. I feel like that's a great, jumping off point that we can review these. We'll do it the next time the 10 albums come up.
Yep.
But for me, I find it fascinating to see where we rank these.
Absolutely.
And then when you put the songs in, but you and I agree, like the next time we look at this, we could be like, how the fuck do I have that Asylum song ahead of the song off of, Rock and Roll Over? Like,
you're right.
It's kind of a lot of, we didn't put that much thought into some of the selections. You just move it along.
Well, wait until we get to the next 10 albums when we're looking at friggin' 200 songs.
Yeah, and you guys all want to put a bullet in your heads for listening to it. I hope this was explained in a manner that you guys comprehended this and can understand what we're doing. What I'd like to do is to figure out a way that I can take photos of these and put them up on social media so you can see what we did and how we ranked them.
And I also want to see if you guys agree with my, and I'm assuming Zeus is on the same, about that, the experience of an album and how sometimes it doesn't make sense the way you rank an album as opposed to taking those songs off the album and separately putting them in a ranking. Because, I think like you said, Zeus, there's a lot of different things that go into an album, a lot of abstract things, like you said, the cover, the nostalgia, the emotion attached to it that can't really be explained in the statistics of pulling off the songs and ranking them with numbers. And I think that might be why some of these numbers are off a little bit.
Yeah. And, it's good to know that Dress to Kill sticks out.
Yep.
And, Psycho Circus and Gene Simmons album sticks out.
Yep.
And
that kind of deserve that. I mean, they do. I mean, I like the Gene album, but it's not a great album. It's not.
One of the things I did like seeing, though, just a little bit tidbit, I liked seeing that we both put Asylum. Asylum makes the notch over Animalized, the sister albums. I think it's a better album.
I do too. I ranked it ahead of it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I find that stuff fascinating too.
Yep.
Well, I hope you guys don't have the worst popsicle headache you've ever had in your life. And you didn't jump off and after the first 15 songs we started reading off.
No.
I love this, and I was so excited to do this with Tom to talk about this.
Absolutely.
This is the shit that me and him, we would do this on our own, but at least now it's for a podcast.
Exactly. Oh, and Zeus is not kidding. We would be doing this even if we didn't have this show. Believe me.
Let's get together and rank Kiss songs with each other.
Oh, you want to go out? You want to go to like catch a movie or something? Nah, let's sit home and find out where Secretly Cruel falls on a list of 106 songs.
Oh man. Anyway, Tom, when we finish up a topic, we usually go into questions. You got something for us?
Got a question here from your buddy, Gary Cap.
Oh yeah, Gary. What's up, buddy?
Gary's the man. So he's got a question here. So this is a good one here. I have a question for the both of you. I hope you will put on the show. What was the most meaningful Kiss concert you ever attended? Not necessarily your first, but the one that has meant the most to you.
Oh, and you're going to put me on the spot. I should say when I saw End of the Road with my daughter and you, Tom. I should say that.
Say what you want.
But I will say, like, because I tried to get her into it, and she just, maybe later on she'll remember it fondly. It'll be something for her to fondly, but she wasn't very much in the mood or liking it.
Right.
But for me, it's got to be the reunion, going with you, Murph. I think it was McLucas too. The four of us had dressed up as Kiss back in '94 before the reunion at a Halloween concert at Stonehill College, and everybody turned around and looked at us like we were fucking crazy. And here they were in makeup.
Yep.
And the four of us went. And there was a point in the song when the bombs and stuff were going on. They're singing. I don't know if it was Detroit Rock City, wherever they came out. We're jumping up and down, and we're just looking at each other. And in a like totally guy kind of way, like, do we hug? Like,
I know.
Like, our hands like jumping up and down, like, ah!
I know. I know. Yeah, of course I remember. It was insane. It was insane. Now, for me, I will say that it was the End of the Road tour at the Garden with my son and you and Murph. Because my son...
It wasn't just us four.
Oh, it was the guy. It was Murph's buddy in front of him. Hey, when are they going to play Strutter? I don't think it's in the set list. What the fuck? What the fuck? But I think that one, because my son's older than your daughter, so he was excited. He was into it. His favorite song is Calling Dr. Love. They played it.
Yep.
The seats were amazing. And it was with you and Murph. I mean, what's better than that?
Remember it well.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's a great question, Gary. Kiss memories are always fun to talk about.
Absolutely.
And so we appreciate that question. And we appreciate everything that you have done outside of the show as well. So thank you, Gary.
Gary's a great one.
Absolutely.
So, Tom, where can people find us?
So our email is shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. As you can tell, we like to read your emails on the show. We do our best to respond to them. So please continue to do that. Let us know what you think about the show, ideas, anything. We're on all the social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're out there. We're always interactive, and we try to interact with all you guys. We are part of the Pantheon Podcast Network, so our show can be heard everywhere. The big platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, everywhere we're there. If there's a platform that you like that you can't find us, let us know, and we'll see what we can do. Check us out. Check out our buddy Ed at Click Tea Shop if you want some awesome Shout It Out Loudcast merch, as well as Ed's amazing Kiss-inspired designs. He's got great stuff there. So cool. And Ed's a great guy. He's our buddy. We've had him on one of the live streams, so check out Click Tea Shop. And also on Facebook, we have a group, the Shout It Out Loudcasters. It's a fun group. Everybody's posting pictures, stories, articles, all eras. All the members, we all have a good time with that. It's a nice place for Kiss fans to get together and just have fun. No shitting on anybody, no toxic shit. It's a good place. So if you're not a member of that group, jump on there and join.
Tom, you mentioned Pantheon Podcast.
Yes.
We have a new local kind of legend that joined us on Pantheon Podcast.
We do. We have, for anybody in the New England area, sadly, it is the now defunct WAAF, one of the great rock stations in Boston history, recently went off the air. And one of their great DJs, Mike Shue, is now a member of the Pantheon Podcast family. And he has a podcast called Long May You Young. It's all Neil Young. And it's interesting coming from, if you listen to AF, if you know Mike Shue, he was a rock guy. But like me and Zeus, he loves everything. And he's got a podcast with Pantheon about Neil Young. And we were texting with Mike. We were talking to him about becoming a part of the family. And we want to have him on the show. He's a Kiss fan. He loves Asylum, ironically. So if you're a Neil Young fan, check that out. It's on the Pantheon Podcast Network. Mike's awesome. If you're from New England, you know him. So check it out. It's called Long May You Young.
Yeah. And please give us one of those 5-star child reviews. They help people find us on our podcast. Do it on podchaser.com. You can do it on iTunes. They're big help, and we really appreciate them. As a matter of fact, before we get into that, I want to read a couple stuff that we got. Tom, you have something that we got a direct message from somebody recently.
Yeah, we did, and we love these too. We got a direct message on Facebook from Chuck Stottlemyre the other day, and he said, "Hey, I just want to say I am new to the podcast. Still listening to my first episode, which was episode 36, Kiss Trivia. When the Jerky Boys jokes and impressions started, I knew I had found the right Kiss podcast. Thank you." Chuck, the fact that the Jerky Boys is what put you over the top to jump on board the Shout It Out Loudcast train, that is awesome. And thank you for sending the message. We appreciate that when you guys just reach out. It just, it makes all this worthwhile. So thank you, Chuck, and hope you stay on board. Hopefully this show didn't detract you. There's Jerky Boys in this one and also a lot of statistics. So stay with us, Chuck. But thank you for that message.
Yeah, I was going to say, hope those numbers didn't throw you overboard.
Yep.
But, Tom, I want to read an email that we got.
Okay.
And that is from fellow Malacca.
Hello, pretty lady. Tell me something. What's a beautiful broad like you doing with a Malacca like this, huh?
It's purely sexual.
No shit.
She's into Malaccas, Dino.
She's into Malaccas. Do you believe that? You can say that again.
She's in the Malaccas, Dino.
And this is from Costa Vutsinas. He calls it Asylum Review. But, hey, Tom and Zeus, love your show. Stumbled onto you via Twitter months ago when you did the Detroit Rock City episode, and I've been playing catch-up ever since. Listened to the Asylum one this morning while waiting for my wife to finish at work, and she wanted to know why I had this big grin on my face every time she looked outside. That says it all. The laughter, the analogies, and the jokes, the references to the 70s and 80s, and most of all, the perspective of true Kiss fans is amazing. It's as if I'm looking back in the Twilight Zone style, hanging out with my childhood friends, talking about the band. Even though back then, most likely would not be readily admitting that they liked Kiss. It would always bash them. Circus band, show for kids, music sucks, they're not Zeppelin, or Purple, or UFO, yada, yada, yada. I'm 51, and my older brother and his friend got me hooked onto Kiss when Love Gun came out, Tom.
Yeah, all right.
Listened in awe when they described the Dynasty show they attended and finally got to see them in 83 for the Creatures. Orchestra Row N while in Section 2, and then had 4 days of constant ringing in ears. Greek parents went ballistic, worried about ear loss, and gave my brother shit all week. I brought my 2 sons, who, like yours, Tom, went to a Catholic school, to a show, I think in 2012 or so.
Nice.
Keep it up, guys. You're devoting a lot of your time in preparing for these shows. No fucking shit.
Waiting for this one. After this one.
Fucking hours I put into these numbers. Yeah. But as a fellow ethnic in Montreal, I assume he means a fellow Grecian, I love it and appreciate the work. Costa. Ironically, Jerky Boy's story, went to see the movie with my brother-in-law. We walked in late, thus the theater was dark. So we quietly sat in the back, not want to pass in front of the others. When the film ended, there were only 2 other guys at the show. And one looked comatose.
Yeah, the movie was not great, Costa. The movie was not great.
No. But thank you, Phile. And I will make sure that you know that you have a new theme song to rival somebody else on this show.
Oh,
and now we have a new one. So much appreciated, and much appreciated to all you guys out there. But we also appreciate when you do something else for us. And that is when you give us those iTunes review. Tom, do you got that review?
So we got the iTunes review from Crap App 40. I think we know who this is, but we'll keep it at Crap App 40. So a nice, beautiful 5-star child iTunes review titled High Energy and Fun. Oh my word. This is an entertaining podcast hosted by a couple of fruitcakes. Their enthusiasm for the band is palpable, and each show is a lot of laughs. The shows offer a variety of topics from album reviews, drafts, top 10 lists, guest hosts, and interviews from authors to ambassadors. It doesn't get stale, and while they're obviously big fans of Kiss, they aren't Kiss sycophants. Looking forward to next week's Their Sizzle Chest. Love it.
That's
Love
from
it.
Marty White, isn't it?
I was just going to say that. Yes, that is our buddy Marty, and thank you so much, Marty. That's awesome. We appreciate that. That's great.
Yeah, well, I like that Marty emails us instead of the Twitter stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just easier to correspond with him back and forth. It's
Absolutely.
easy.
Yep.
And we love when you guys email us reviews we are very thankful for. So that being said, Tom, where were we at? Famous last words, right?
Famous last words. If I can survive, and if you can't deny it, don't give me love. No, don't even try it. Just give me your trust, and I'll tell you no lies. This is the truth, and I don't know why.
Settle down. Don't do me favors. Don't show your face. Don't tell me what to play.
Uh-oh.
Because it's not your place. The fans wanted us to play. We hear you, and we obey.
Oh, fucking song's
You,
horrible.
Tom, the fan.
Well, thank you, Zeus. Thank you, Kiss Army. Thank you, everybody out there. We hope you guys enjoyed some statistical analysis and some breakdown here. And we had fun with it. We hope you guys did too. Let us know. And thank you as always.
Guys, thank you very much. Kiss Army, thank you. Tom, thank you. Peace out, Girl Scout.